Hi, I'm Jennifer. It's nice to meet you.
Final Cut found multiple clips with a sky in it, and you can see here by the relevance category, most of them they felt pretty highly about, pretty confident about. And as we click through, we see summer sky, but this one clearly isn't a sky, and it says low confidence. So we see these other clips. Final Cut found all these clips that had a sky in it. This one, it felt like it was a highly confident that it had a sky in the image, and it doesn't. So Final Cut missed this one. If we look at these other still images, there are skies in all of these shots. Now, if we jump over to Resolve, we'll see Resolve only found 2 images with a sky in it. Now, both of these clips do have a sky, so it was more accurate, but with fewer clips. When we use the search term for people in Resolve, it finds several people shots here. We can see that it identified these people, but it also missed a shot. This is the sky picture that both Final Cut and Resolve missed earlier. It identified that as a person here in Resolve. Otherwise, it did fairly well. In Final Cut, when we type in people for the search, Final Cut still finds more images, more media, and it also uses kind of a wider definition of people. It clearly missed this shot, but it got a statue of a person. In that case, Bob Newhart. Here, the people are smaller in front of a building. Resolve didn't pick up on that. Final Cut thought these cows were people, so it clearly missed there, but it also identified people on the beach. So that's a much smaller image of a person that Final Cut picked up. When we search for water inside of Final Cut Pro, it did okay. It picked up several clips with water, but it also missed 1 or 2, like that clip. This clip here obviously doesn't have water, and it picked out the sky as water here. But it also missed our water wheel. As we see here, there's water in this image, and it missed that as well. Resolve, however, really did not do well with water as the search term. As we see here, it didn't pick up anything. And so if we jump back over to see all the clips that potentially have water in it, including the wheel here, but there's also all of these ocean shots that are missing in this search as well. And when we use snow for our search, Resolve picked up the clip of the man skiing. Final Cut picked up the clip of the man skiing and that clip of the sky again. When we look at the search term for animals inside Resolve, Resolve picks up 2 clips with animals in them, but there are several other clips that it missed. If we clear the search term out here and we can look and see, it didn't pick up the rabbits or the rhinos. Final Cut, when we search for animals, it picks up 1 more clip, which is a clip with animals in it, but it also struggled with the rabbits and the rhinos. And when we look at maps, Final Cut picked out all 3 maps, but also picked out the building incorrectly, while Resolve nailed it with the maps, picking out the 3 clips. And if we search for desert, Resolve picks out 1 clip that has some sand in there by the ocean. Final Cut picks out a different clip that also has some sand in there. I was surprised that neither one of them picked out more of those ocean clips, even though we had no true desert shot in this footage. Both Final Cut and Resolve perform well when searching for ocean. When we look for buildings, though, Resolve correctly identifies 1 shot as a building, but it also misses several other shots with buildings in it, as we'll see here in some of the other media. Final Cut looks more broadly at the term building, and it correctly identifies more shots as buildings. It also incorrectly identified 1 where Resolve didn't. But if we see, these are buildings at a little bit of a distance. Here, they're at a good bit of a distance, but there are buildings in the shot. And it also picks up on these buildings that are tangential to what's actually going on in the footage. But it misses on this last shot. Final Cut found multiple shots with grass, but it also missed on a few shots looking at the trees in the distance and picking them out as grass. As we can see, this one here is looks like it's some trees in the distance, and we have some more grass in these other shots. So it did fairly well, but it did miss on a few. Resolve, on the other hand, selected fewer pictures, but they both did have grass in them. Using the search for women, Resolve picked up correctly on 4 shots. It didn't select any incorrectly. And we can see them here. Final Cut picked up on 4 shots too, but it's a different 4th shot. Resolve included the woman at the gym. Final Cut included this shot. What about the clip where the woman identifies herself as Jennifer? Well, if I do it as a visual search in Resolve, it picks up this other clip. I don't know where it got that information. I don't know that there's any metadata associated with that clip that says Jennifer. But if I change it to Transcript Search, the clip comes up.
Hi, I'm Jennifer. It's nice.
A similar result happens in Final Cut. We don't have any results turned back and visual search. If we switch to Transcript Search in Final Cut, we have these 2 choices. The first choice is an exact match for the word Jennifer or my search term. The second choice is if Final Cut thinks we are talking about that search term in the transcript. So I'll put exact and we see the same clip. When we search for the term music, there are probably better ways to search and organize for music, but Final Cut does not see the clip as visual search with music. It also doesn't see or pick up the music in the transcript search. Resolve doesn't pick up the music in the visual search either. However, it does pick it up as part of the transcript search.
Hi.